Welcome back to another episode of 4-Digit Fishing. I think it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, don't you? Yeah, let's do it. One of the main reasons that I wanted to launch this channel in April is because April is Limb Difference and the Limb Loss Awareness Month. And I have both. I have some limb differences and a limb loss. So super brief backstory. I was born in the 70s, and the best guess on what happened is there was some medications that they gave women for morning sickness in the 60s and 70s, and one of the side effects was a ton of kids had birth defects. And so I think I was one of those. Who knows? Doesn't really matter the reason or why or how it happened. The only thing that matters to me is, this is my life and this is what I was dealt and what I do with it. So I was born with my right foot was, I think, not fully formed and maybe facing the wrong direction. They amputated my right foot sometime before I was 2. I don't really know how old I was. My left foot, I'm missing a couple of toes on it, and my ankle joint is not like a normal ankle joint, which has caused me a lot of problems. And then my hands, I was born without any fingers. The fingers that I do have were fused together, and there's really only 2 of them. Like I said, they were fused together, and the doctors did a ton of surgeries when I was little to separate my fingers and give me 4 usable digits, hence the name. If you hadn't already figured that out, but come on, you figured that out. You're smart. You've seen me fish. But yeah, that's just in a nutshell, that's my differences. So hands and feet were both affected, and a lot of the differences that I have in fishing are kind of revolve around my hands. Everything I do is a little different. I don't have, a lot of normal grip. The fingers that I do have don't really have, a couple of them have joints, but not really. They're pretty rigid. So my grip is a lot of the issue. You'll see in some of my kayak videos that I use some straps on my paddles because I can't really wrap my hands around a paddle or grab a hold of a paddle. And so I use straps to kind of run my hands through and kind of maneuver. That's kind of the way I do everything. If there's something I want to do, I just have to figure out a way to do it. The prosthetic leg does cause some problems. The biggest thing I have with my prosthetic leg is it's right at the ankle. It's super basic, no electronic parts. So it's rigid. The ankle I have doesn't have any movement. So getting my waders on and off is kind of a little bit of fun. It takes me 5 minutes to get in and out of my waders. I always wonder what my neighbors think when I come in, in the middle of the night and I'm sitting out on my front porch. If they ever see me out there trying to get out of my waders, trying to get my leg off, because I, get one leg out of my waders and then I take this leg completely off and hold my leg up and, try and pull it out of the waders. Anyway, it's a spectacle, I'm sure. So if you're my neighbors and you've ever seen me in the middle of the night, just waving my leg around like a madman trying to get out of my waders, just sorry. But yeah, the big thing I have with my waders is once I get in my waders, it's suction. My leg is just held on by suction. And a lot of the places I fish, I'm going to show you a clip from 2 days ago. A lot of the places I fish are super muddy. And so I wade out. And if I bog down, a lot of the times the suction of the mud is greater than the suction of my leg. And so I'll go to, take a step and the mud sucks my leg down and I step out of my waders and I'll fall. I do that every, 3 or 4 trips. Probably I'll take a fall. It's not bad. I'm short, so I don't have a long ways to go. But a lot of it is just, I'll go to take a step and I'll step out of my waders, and then you just have a second to decide if you want to go forward or backwards. The other day when I fell, I just kind of went down on my knees and, got back up. It's no big deal. I had hip waders on that day. And so, I got water just above my hip waders, just enough to get me wet and be uncomfortable. But, again, not a big deal. But yeah, that's one of the things that I have with the prosthetic leg. Like I said, the main difference is really the hands. And there's a lot of things that I do don't think about. I just do them. It's just natural for me. This is the way I've always been. And when it comes to like the amputation and like the way my hands are different, I almost have a little bit of imposter syndrome when it comes to other people who are amputees who have lost, you know, limbs later in life, just because this is all I've ever known. And so I don't know, it's a weird thing, but it is what it is. And like I said, a lot of my fishing, you know, involves me, you know, trying to adapt things and make things work. And I'm going to do a series of videos on some of the things that I do. Part of this journey is going to be hopefully, you know, sharing my experiences with people that maybe have similar situations. Maybe if you know someone that has, you know, some kind of differences with a limb, or like I said, you know, it could be anything. I know a lot of people that have arthritis that it affects their grip. You know, if you know people that could benefit from maybe this, you know, my journey or my story, or just maybe just gain some encouragement from seeing somebody that's different, you know, out here doing this thing. If you know somebody like that, please share this with them. I don't consider myself anything special. I really don't consider myself an inspiration. I'm just a regular dude out here trying to do what I love, and I love to fish. And you know, I know there's probably a lot of people in a similar situation that have things that maybe are holding them back. And yeah, I think sometimes you just need some encouragement, and sometimes it helps to see people doing things and overcoming things to do the things they love. I know it helps me, and you know, through all this, maybe I'll help somebody. I don't know. But along the way, you know, we're going to have some very real conversations about things. And I'm going to be an open book. And the people that I look up to and, you know, admire and like to watch, that's the quality that I admire, is people being open and vulnerable. I think there's not enough of that in the world today. And so you're going to get full transparency with me. You're going to get an open book. Part of this whole figuring out YouTube thing, I think, is going to be finding my audience and finding the people that are, you know, my people. And if you're here and you're watching and you stick around after these first few videos, I feel like you're going to be my people, and I appreciate it. And you know, like I said, I really don't know where this is all going to go. I do know one thing. I've got to get better about rambling on and on, because I do that a lot. I'm going to get better about the rambling. So stick with me. I know some of these videos are going to be highly edited, because, you know, sometimes it takes me 20 minutes to say things. They really only need 2. But yeah, that's kind of the brief story on, you know, what's wrong with me. A question that my wife asks pretty much on a daily basis. What's wrong with you? I love my wife. She's great. We'll talk about my wife at some point too, because really she was the catalyst for this whole channel to begin with. She's been telling me for years that I should do this, and I just really never had the confidence in myself to think that, you know, I could do it. And she is my ride or die. You know, she told me that I could do it enough that it finally just kind of sank in, and I really I got to a point where I believed her. And you know, sometimes that's all it takes, is having somebody like that to push you and encourage you. So, you know, maybe through all this, maybe I'll be that to somebody. I don't know. I hope that would be the ultimate, you know, goal for this video, is if somebody out there watching this has something that they want to do, and they just think that there's something holding them back, you just know that there's nothing holding you back. You're the only thing that can hold you back. So yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about tonight. I just kind of wanted to address the elephant in the room. We hadn't really talked about it, and I mean, it was kind of out there, you know. We all were thinking it, so I just kind of wanted to talk about it and get the conversation started. We're gonna have more conversations about, you know, the differences in my hands, my leg, and you know, all that stuff, because that's, you know, kind of what the channel's built around. So, and if you have questions about, you know, my differences, or just, you know, anything related to that, let me know in the comments. I'm an open book. Like I said, I've gotten questions, you know, as far back as I can remember. When it comes to visible differences, people generally don't have filters, and, you know, I've been asked every question under the sun. So, You're not going to offend me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You know, genuine questions are always welcome, and I'll answer, you know, pretty much anything. I'm not going to say anything because, I mean, I know how people are, but I'll answer almost anything. So, yeah, if you have questions, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. And, yeah, I think that'll do it for today. So, and I appreciate you being on this journey with me. And I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad to be doing this. And I'm excited to see what happens. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up, and I will see you next week.